What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson from Squad Sports. We're really excited to be supporting the Free Agent Friday series. A lot of great talent out there. Without further ado, this is the next free agent you should be signing with your sports team.
All right, we're back for another show, and today I've got Kevin Wilson with me. How's it going, Kevin?
Good. How you doing, Andrew?
Doing good, man. Thanks for getting with me. I know we've talked a few times, so want to definitely hear more about your journey and your goals, where you want to go. So let's start off with school. Where did you go to school? Any degrees or other things that you received there?
Sure. I started off doing business management at Howard University, the Bison. If you don't shout out HU Bison, then you don't go to Howard University. So HU Bison, I started there doing business management. At the time, they did not have a sports management / marketing curriculum. So I had gotten with my professor to try to take as many sports management marketing classes that I had. So I was a business management major taking individual sports marketing, management, any other type of sports business classes there at undergrad. I finished up there, worked in the industry that I'll tell you about later in our podcast. And then I actually ended up going to Central Michigan, Chippewas there in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And there I did concentrate on a master's in arts in sport administration.
What was it about sports? Like, did you play sports or were you just...
I did, Andrew. I guess I hope that the typical American dream where you grew up in the suburbs and you had an older brother. We played basketball. Actually, my mom wouldn't let us play football till later in high school. Played soccer. And played all the sports within the neighborhood, but I'd focused on basketball and soccer. And then soccer is actually the sport that not only just playing it, enjoying the sport, but was able to play overseas, and you're seeing these major tournaments and you're housing with other people in different languages. I was like, whew. So I actually knew in, I'd say, junior year, I wanted to do sports management marketing in some form or fashion in school. I just went towards the soccer route in undergrad and kind of morphed the sports management into it.
So when you were in school, did you do any internships at all?
I did, and I'll go from graduate school on back to not be long-winded, but I was able to intern for the United States Olympic Committee, doing events internship with U.S. Taekwondo, which was great. It was during a Olympic year, so I was able to do all the pre-Olympic tournaments and training also while witnessing the Olympics. Did a internship at a camp. It was a sports camp. So I was a soccer director there for a couple of years, and that's what I did in grad school. And then at undergrad, I was able to intern for a celebrity golf tournament, which was interesting because, at the time you're thinking, oh, we're all these sports professionals, but it was actually celebrities from music, literature, entertainment that were coming for a celebrity golf tournament. So that was interesting, being the intern, trying to do everything under the sun to make my name known. So those were the main internships there in school.
When you got out of school, kind of walk me through career from then up until where you're at now.
Sure. Got out of school, actually undergrad. I'll go and I'll kind of cruise through it. I was actually able to work for was actually the largest ice hockey recreation company at the time. Did league administration. That morphed into marketing of the league, which morphed into, and I say morphed, promoted into the tournament director. And we did tournaments not only in the States, but we had national league tournaments. We had invitational tournaments in Canada. And then we had a tournament overseas in Holland, in Europe. And that's what kind of initially got me started in my first career outside of school. From there, I took a position doing contract administration. And I think at that time it was more so, let me go outside the industry and make more money. You know, that goes. So I did that. That actually led me to get my desire to go to school, to move out to Michigan, concentrate full-time for my sports administration degree. After that, I was in Michigan, stuck. Hey, do I stay there or do I come back to DC where I'm from and kind of relay my roots here? Went back to DC, and that's actually where I moved into a role for, it was actually medical and fitness program manager. And then from there, it morphed into this investigative analyst role, and then part-time ticket sales to do on the side.
Yeah. So part-time ticket sales with DC United, right?
Correct. Correct. You know, it's funny how you get positions. I was in a group, WISE, Women in Entertainment and Women in Sports and Entertainment. Huge organizations, great. I think I'm one of the few male members, but they treat me like one of their own, so I appreciate it. But somebody there had mentioned, they said, hey, why don't you just, since you're not working full-time in the sports industry, look to do part-time work for one of the teams. I said, well, who's hiring? And they said, well, all of them. Why don't you call DC United at the time and see if they have any ticket sales positions? I did, interviewed, was there actually, they obviously now moved into the new stadium, Audi Field, but was on the last year of the RFK Stadium. And from there, each summer, they asked me back, and I try to learn and take on more roles, and it's been great. And that's kind of the career path there that I've gone through and where I'm at now.
What's the ideal role that you're looking for in sports moving forward?
You know, Andrew, as you know, in your history, as you live and you think you learn and you try to get expertise on how your skill set is and how that can relate to somebody else. I really want to market athletes as individuals, and whether that means business development in terms of getting them sponsorships, crafting their life after their playing career through philanthropic endeavors. But in the space of business development and marketing of athletes, and if that entails a sports or an event, you know, you obviously you don't want to pigeonhole yourself, but ideally my next position would be doing marketing plans and marketing athletes for their business development, for their betterment.
What would you say is the biggest asset that you'll bring to the table?
Well, it's funny. It used to be the word relatability, but now I guess the word is connectivity. So I think my biggest asset is just connecting with people. I'll give you a quick example. My role at DC United in ticket sales, we sit in a booth and sell tickets, you know, like most teams do. Well, I was able through my manager to just morph out into each and every other game to go outside and almost do crowd control. And I say crowd control, just help customers or fans coming in before they buy tickets with any odds and ends, cues and questions and answers that, you know, the ticket seller doesn't necessarily need to know, but doesn't necessarily need to tell them, but it's good for them to have. So I've been able to use that ability to answer questions and answers fans' questions, and sometimes they're mad, they're irate. Hopefully calm them down, but connect with them, get them excited about why they're there, you know, the experience of the game, and move them on. So to answer the long-winded question, connectivity, that's what I think. So
what about the flip side? What do you need to work on the most?
Again, as that mindset, it morphs over the years. I really think it's being sometimes it's good and bad. Being less calculated. I think in my analytical role as an analyst, investigative analyst, you do a lot of plan A. What about plan B, plan C, plan D? And you're giving them all these trends and analysis and trying to help your senior leaders, or at least have an answer for them when they ask all these different questions, which is great. I mean, part of that's good. You want to be well prepared and have all the different facts and figures. But sometimes, especially, in sales, and you're trying to just get somebody in the seat or get a business to buy a sponsorship for the season, sometimes you just need to go for it and forget being calculated. It's sports, it's sales. Just throw caution to the wind and have at it. So good, but it also can be negative, depending on, based on your question.
Yeah. I mean, that's how most of those are. It's a positive in some ways, and so how about, like, are you open to relocation? Are you looking for something just in the DC metro area?
Yes. I watch all your podcasts, which are great, and you always hear, I'm open to moving wherever. I'll give it a 1, 2, 3. 1, I would love to stay in the DC area. 2, knowing the sports industry, I would love and would surely be open to moving to a mid to major city. And I say mid-major to major city. 3, anywhere but a small town USA. And that's just being honest. It's just not me. But obviously a mid-major city to a major city, I would be open to doing that, whether that be on the West Coast, South, North, Canada, wherever.
Okay. How would you define success?
I would define success as being in the environment where you want to be in. And obviously I would love to say, oh, well, it's having the best position in the sports industry, or being the owner, or owning this team such as you do in your career, in your lifetime. But I think for me, it's really remaining in that sports environment, or an environment which you love. And whether or not you're the VP, the account executive, the analyst, the janitor, whatever you are you in the environment that you love? And I try to do that each and every day, especially as I have transferred industries, but still remain vigilantly in the sports industry.
So why kind of the move from, what you're doing now into sports full time? Like, what's the...
Well, if I told you it was money, that wouldn't be the
I was going to tell you, well, dude, you gotta look at something else then.
Right. Exactly. No, I tell you, Andrew, it really is. I love seeing people happy through sports. And I say that in the sense of, hey, does that get you up every day? I don't know, but I know I love seeing how I can relate sports to any person that I meet, obviously in the business field, but also using sports to connect people. When I did a lot of traveling with soccer and other sports, even hockey, and my jobs in the business, sports is a connector. I mean, that's a no-brainer there. But can you connect people on the business front to help both parties win? And I'm telling you, I think about it all the time, and I say now, why the right time? It's probably always been there, but now it's the time to just be more fervent about getting back into the sports industry.
Yeah. It's definitely, rewarding in a lot of ways, like you had mentioned. I mean, it's one of the things I really like about it is, seeing, nobody really knows outside of, people working in it, how much work goes into it. And then you just see all these people having a great time, and it's very rewarding. So I like it. I feel like I've never worked in my adult life. So that's a good feeling.
Right. That's right.
So, all right. Last thing, this is what I always like to end with, is give us a fun personal fact about you.
One personal fact. Kevin likes to dance. I've heard from other people,
Okay.
I love to dance. I'm pretty good at dancing, but I tell you, I could go, and I wish I have some historic facts. Like I have a kind of a rock way as a kid, as a rock from the Berlin Wall. When I
Okay.
did a soccer tournament, I got a piece of the Berlin Wall and drove through Russia and Germany. But I guess a fun fact, man, it's funny. I took lessons with my brother, but I'm pretty good at salsa,
Okay.
and that's kind of my
I wish I had
go-to.
some music on my computer because I'd have
Oh
to have
man,
you
I
show
would
us.
do it. I mean, you know,
That's good. Well, my claim to fame in my household is I won a game. I think it was called Dance Central on like the Xbox, where it like there's like a camera that watches your movement,
right.
and you have to do the thing. And I won. I beat my wife,
Oh, wow.
my daughter, and my
Oh,
son. And I look like I'm having like a seizure if
right.
I'm dancing. I have no rhythm.
Right.
So I won one time, and I've never ever played that game again.
Right.
And I just constantly remind them that I beat them. But
Right.
if you see me dancing now, you might call 911.
Right.
So
Right.
maybe I need to go
Yes.
where you went.
Hey, salsa and the bachata, but which those are my go-tos. So
Okay.
yeah, I love dancing. That's me.
How long have you been doing that for?
Well, informal for all my life, but
Okay.
formally for about the past year, just
Okay.
doing lessons, and a little, obviously you had a pause now,
Yeah.
but doing lessons at night, and yeah, I love it. Salsa and bachata. Those
All
are
right.
my two.
Well, next time we're going to have you do some dance moves for
All
us.
right. That's the problem when you tell people, they're like, all right, show
Yeah.
us some proof. You're like, uh-oh.
Well, I just had a kid on today. He told me his fun fact was he's a good singer.
All right.
But don't tell me that. Now you're singing something.
Right, yeah.
And the kid was good. He was good. So,
That's right.
So yeah,
That's
we'll get
right.
you back on for some dance. So no, but man, thanks for joining me. It was good to connect.
Oh, thank you.
Hopefully we can help you get out there in the sports world full time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Really do, Andrew. Thank you. And I just hope that for all those that are listening and will be listening to, please, I hope you reach out to me. I definitely I offer a lot in from different industries. I think nowadays you got to be a little dynamic when it comes to engaging these customers and businesses with finances being so tight.
Oh yeah, got to stand out.
That's right. That's right, Andrew.